Before I get started, let me. All right, so happy Veterans Day to our veterans in the audience. Thank you for your service to our country. We appreciate all that you do and have done for us. Let's give them a round. As a student said, my name is Terry Lindsay. I'm the Vice President for Student Affairs, and I always love to say this here at the unsinkable and indestructible Albany State University. And one of these days, you're going to have to get a history lesson on why we're called the unsinkable and indestructible, but not today. I want to welcome all of you to International Education Week. This annual celebration highlights the importance of international education in fostering global understanding and collaboration. International Education Week serves as a platform that promotes the benefit of global learning and encouraging students to embrace diverse cultures and perspectives. It plays a crucial role in shaping well-rounded individuals, enhancing their educational experiences, and preparing them for a global workforce. Throughout this week, and I know Dr. Gibson has a lot of stuff planned, but throughout this week, you will engage in activities and discussions that will underscore the impact of learning about others globally on personal growth, the development of global citizens. And you do that by participating you'll do that by not only broadening your horizons, but also contributing to a more interconnected world. Let us celebrate the diversity that enriches our community and emphasize the transformative power of education in building bridges across culture. I want to also take a moment to thank Dr. Asakwe, Dr. Gibson, and all the folks who put together International Education Week, our global exchange students who work so hard to make sure that our taste of culture is always a hit. This is not easy work. A lot of work goes into making this happen. So to all of you that played a part in putting together International Education Week, thank you. Thank you all in the audience for being part of this important celebration. My only wish, Dr. Asakwe has done a fantastic job of helping our faculty internationalize their curriculum. My only wish, and I've said this last year, that all the faculty teaching courses all the faculty that have internationalized their curriculum will mandate that their students attend this event and this opening ceremony. It's always a wonderful opportunity to learn about others, to learn about the world. So, as always, thank you all for being here, and go Rams.
Thank you, Dr. Lindsay. Next, I'm going to introduce our president, Dr. Lawrence Drake II.
Must be this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have to, unfortunately, I apologize in advance. I have to leave a little early. I'm headed to Atlanta for the Board of Regents meeting. But early years about not understanding how the world works. And the world is a very complex place. And I think sometimes as American citizens, particularly those who have never been abroad, studied abroad, and more importantly, born abroad, really don't understand just how complex it is. It is not homogeneous. It is not one size fits all. I lived on the African continent for almost a decade, and what I can tell you is that country to country, from one country right next door to the next country, the number of languages, the number of traditions, the number of tribes, the number of just relationships were just totally different. And you need to appreciate that the world is made up of so many amazing people. Many of you are sitting in this room represent that amazing cornucopia of people and relationships that you've built. And being here at Albany State, we have an opportunity, I think, to help our students and our student learners understand the rich nature of learning something that they don't know about. How many of you have ever heard of the 5-hour rule? Ms. Peterson has heard about it. Anybody else? So the 5-hour rule is something that I would just encourage you to pay attention to, because it relates to what you're going to be experiencing this week. And the 5-hour rule says that I'm going to take 5 hours a week and really dedicate those 5 hours to learning something I don't know about. It means that I'm not going to be just, getting information by accident. I'm actually going to be very intentional. And it's for me, in meaning that it's for the individual's enrichment. Why is that important, and why do I share that? Because I think International Education Week is an opportunity for our students and all of you to exchange with each other in ways that you may not have otherwise. But it's an opportunity to show the students why it's really important for them to know about things that they might not have experienced before either. The whole idea of international education, and of course I appreciate both Dr. Gibson and Dr. Osakwe integrating sort of the world into their curriculum. I think that everybody needs to understand the world. When I think about what I knew when I became the CEO of an enterprise, and I moved to a country where we were putting together and arbitraging over 50 different currencies back to the US dollar, it was a very interesting experience to understand how other countries, you can go out and buy a loaf of bread at one price at 1 o'clock, and the price would be different at 3 o'clock if the currency devalued. Well, in the U.S., we know that a loaf of bread at 1 o'clock is probably the same, provided you buy it at the same store, is the same at that same store at 3 o'clock. Not so in the rest of the world. Now, that's a small difference, but there are so many other differences. For me, I learned a great deal about my heritage living outside this country. I remember my first trip to Ghana and going to the Door of No Return in the Amina Castles. It was a very interesting and surreal experience, to the point where I wept, knowing and reflecting on all those who left that country, headed to the Middle Passage, not knowing anything and leaving everything behind. So I would just say that this is an opportunity for us to encourage our students to understand that the American way is great, but the heritage and the history of the world is even greater, because it gives us context. It gives us an opportunity to see the world through a different lens. So thank you for allowing me the time to share my story, but also to congratulate all of you for the work that you're going to do this week and the activities that you're going to have this week, but also just for continuing to dedicate yourself for teaching and instructing and living a life that's full and a model for our students. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Drake. Next on the agenda, we have the proclamation of International Education Week. And to do that, I will be introducing Dr. Casey Donaldson Richard and Assistant Director of International Education. Thank you.
Great morning. On behalf of the Mayor of the City of Albany, I will be standing before you to give a proclamation. Whereas within the context of the Board of Regents, the new strategic plan and the other dynamic factors that are transforming undergraduate education in the United States and around the world, global knowledge, skills, and attitudes have become expectations of the students' learning. Whereas Albany State University has contributed much to our community, with its graduates playing a vital role in the Dougherty County history and growth. Whereas the City of Albany and the Albany State International Education Week celebration being observed November the 11th through the 15th, 2024. Whereas the Albany State University International Education Week brings more awareness about global knowledge and skills among its students, faculty, staff, and the community. Whereas Albany State University will closely work with the Board of Regents and the University System of Georgia, and bring all the changes required to meet the current challenges, prepare students for success in the 21st century. On behalf of Bo Durham, the mayor of the Great Lakes City of Albany, do hereby proclaim November the 11th through the 15th of 2024 as the International Education Week in the city of Albany, and commend Albany State University for their commitment to higher education, including international education. I further encourage the students, administration, faculty, and staff of Albany State University to continue in endeavors to provide and promote International Week. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal to be sent on behalf of the mayor of the city of Albany.
Good morning, good morning. At this time, if we could have all administrators to please stand so you can be recognized. Thank you. We have Dr. Lindsay, VP of Student Affairs. We have Dr. Porter, Interim Provost and VP of Academic Affairs. We have Dr. Pogue, Assistant Director, and we have Dr. Modestin, Director of ASU Global, and we have Dr. Armstrong, Assistant Provost and Assistant to the Dean of College of Business, Education, and Professional Studies. Thank you so much. Dr. Ochi, Dr. Ochi, he is the Director for Graduate Admissions. Thank you.
Also, we're going to move forward to the student abroad experience presentation, global ambassadors, and it's going to be three student participants of study abroad, and they're going to have 3 to 5 minutes each to present.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kaylee Pittman.
And I'm Zaire Martino Booker.
Good morning, I am Yonde Moore.
And we were all participants in this spring 2024's Puerto Rico study abroad trip. First, we're going to complete our introductions. So you're probably wondering, who are we? I am a 21-year-old senior biology major and chemistry minor, and I am also an Albany, Georgia native. I am a pre-medical student interested in bettering treatment for those with established and invisible disabilities. At the time of the study abroad trip, I was 20 years old and a junior.
So, my name is Zaire Martino Booker. I am 24 years old. I am a senior, graduating senior in the major of biology. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and my interest is becoming an OBGYN physician assistant.
Good morning, once again, my name is Yonde Moore. I am a Zambian American. I am 21 years old. I am a nursing major with a minor in Spanish, so Puerto Rico was just a place for me. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am interested in international travel nursing.
So just to give you an overview of our study abroad trip, once again, was to San Juan, Puerto Rico in spring 2024. This study abroad trip lasted from March 1st through March 8th, and this was a fully immersive Spanish program during spring break. Our program's instructor was Dr. John Williams, so the course that was attached to this study abroad trip was Biology 3901, which is pathophysiology. This trip was also connected to Isla Language, which is the Institute for Second Learning Acquisition, and is the only fully immersive Spanish school in Puerto Rico. The students of this trip also resided in homestays where our host homeowners in Puerto Rico provided accommodations for students.
Okay, so what did we do in Puerto Rico? So first we did stay in homestays where our host actually prepared meals. Ours speak only Spanish.
My group just spoke English and Spanish, but we try to keep it Spanish in the household to keep the practice going.
Yeah. So then after that, we did Spanish class, which was every day. And at first, they want us to do like a verbal placement test. So they just ask us questions about what we know, for Spanish, and they place us in different levels. So yes, class was every day, and we did have homework every day. So then after that, we did environmental volunteering. Basically, they were just telling us about the plants, and then we planted a plant actually for the community service. We did do a walking tour of the old San Juan, which we visited the military sites. Also, we did like a natural reserve, like the cave. That was a fun experience for me. So we did hike up to the cave, and we looked at different pictures that they did on the thank you that they did on the cave on the walls, and then we did salsa dancing in Boomba class, and then we did kayaking. And these are the pictures that we have took. Oh. So the first one you see like the military things. Fort, you're right. We didn't know there was, that. Let me not say that. But also right here, we all took a picture with the salsa dancing instructor. We did the cave that you see, and then we visit some museums. And here's the video of the Boma class that we like to share.
And if you want to see either one of these two ladies' dance videos, please let me know. I have them. I have every single one of them.
So basically, I know the audio don't work, but basically what she's doing is based on the beats that they was doing, she was following with her skirt with it. I guess, that's how the boomer class was, basically.
So what did we learn? One of the biggest lessons we learned was how to be adaptable and resilient. Visiting a place where Spanish is the primary language, we realized how important it was to step out of our comfort zone, communicate in different language, and embrace our cultural differences. San Juan is rich with history, stunning. When I mean stunning, I mean wonderful, wonderful nature and unique traditions. Learning about its history made me realize how interconnected we all are global citizens.
So advice to, okay, thank you. So advice to future study abroad students if they want to visit any kind of country. I would say first embracing the local culture. Our experience with San Juan is that we did different things such as salsa dancing, bomba, which is part of their culture, and then also eating the delicious traditional dishes that they have. And the advice I would say is, meet locals. They will actually make your experience very wonderful, and they will, tell you what places to go that would be nice for you to enjoy, things like that. Learning Spanish. It's okay that you don't know Spanish or any other language that you will visit. But part of the experience is to learn the language. So it's okay. And then also the locals, they know that you don't know the language, but they would help you. So that was a good thing as well. And also taking time to explore. They did plan excursions for us to visit different places, so it's good for you to go out, look around, see what you see, take pictures if you want, and yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Kiwi Cody. I also went on a trip to Puerto Rico. However, I was in fall 23 in November. It was a 4-day excursion, and my trip was for education majors. Our goal was in order to, our goal was to learn an approach to teaching students who are Spanish-speaking natives and who are actually learning English and how to teach them those different approaches.
Especially the keynote speaker for today, our very own, is an educator, a guitarist, a composer, an entrepreneur, with over 27 years of college teaching experience and hundreds of performances in over 36 countries to his credit. Professor Joel Johnson is a seasoned college educator and a music artist. His professional focus is on music industry education and jazz popular performance styles. He is a native of Orlando, Florida. Professor Johnson is an associate professor of music industry serving as the coordinator of music industry and modern guitar studies at Albany State University. He holds a BSc in music industry from South Carolina State University, an MM in music theory and composition from Norfolk State University. Doctoral studies in interdisciplinary studies and higher education admin and music education at Florida State University. In addition to his appointment at Albany State University, he has held professorships at Norfolk State University, Hampton University, and South Carolina State University, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University in Florida, and North Florida Community College. In addition to his appointment at Albany State University, he has held professorship at Norfolk State University, Hampton University, and North Florida Community College. Professor Johnson serves on the board of directors for the Advocates for Music and Music Education Association, a non-profit organization, and the Georgia State African American Chamber of Commerce, Music Industry, and Arts Advocacy Director. Professor Johnson's entrepreneurship spirit is evident as a founder and CEO of Sonic Warrior Music Publishing. As a professional artist, Professor Johnson has performed in over 35 countries in the world, such as Dr. John, Fred Wesley, the New JBs, and the Drifters, and many others. Now, Professor Johnson's professional standing is further solidified by his endorsement for Cording Guitar and Les Aluminum Pickles. His membership is in AAUP, MEIEA, Georgia Music Partners, and the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, further attests to his industry recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome our very own, Professor Johnson Joel.
Okay, so now we have our musical selection by Kiwi Cody, And this is from the Global Ambassador for Puerto Rico 2023, sophomore music education major. Thank you. Now, I have the honor of introducing our keynote address, Professor Joel C. Johnson, Associate Professor of Music Industry and Modern Guitar, Department of Visual and Performing Arts.
So I'm very excited, got ahead of myself. Let's see. Would you prefer me at the podium or just more central stage? Oh, okay. Once again, I'd like to acknowledge the great support of Albany State University's leadership under Dr. Dre and his administration. Cannot forget the wonderful work of Dr. Gibson, Dr. Ellis, Mr. O'Neary, and many others, Lindsay. Just really, really appreciate what you do to support international education. Does that make my people? Music. All right, all right. So I often, wonder, when I stand before people, what can I say that would be most impactful? And there's so much good information that has already been shared with you about the importance of international education, but I hope to add on another context in which how we think about international education can edify our particular lives. So one of the things that I keep hearing from national leaders when it comes to education, international education, is the idea of maintaining security, pursuing peace and security. That keeps coming up from our, like I said, national leaders, regionally. And it seems self-evident when you think of it, which is, I have a better chance, or we have a better chance of getting along with each other and understanding each other if we actually interact with each other. If we find that sense of curiosity, what's over there? How do they do that? How do they dress? What does that food taste like? What type of religion is that? What are their institutions like? How do they go to school? What do they focus on? What does family mean to them? You know, what is their latest dance moves? You know, those kind of things. And as we can see in 2024, the world is not perfect. Well, guess what? The world has never been perfect. We've always had people who had disagreements due to their differences. But I will say, since World War II, we've had less issues. If you talk about historically, the beginning of civilization, we've had less issues than we've had in terms of numerically. You know, I think it might say. But one of the organizations that help address how we can keep more stability throughout the world, I think it was started in the 1940s. The organization is related to dealing with scholars from other countries, students from other countries, sending American scholars, professors and students into other countries, accepting them into our countries, and exchange of ideas. So from a general definition of international education, we're talking about basically focusing on the differences regardless of geographical borders, regardless of political stance, regardless of your religious affiliations. Just basically, whatever your differences are, let's reach across those barriers and speak to each other, interact with each other, share a meal, share stories, share our music. And over the years, since the 1940s, we've had a pretty decent success in creating an atmosphere in which we can discuss our problems without necessarily going into a violent posture. You know, sometimes a hot meal, and for those of you who are of age, a hot meal and a cold beer can solve a lot of problems, right? Yeah, I know cheesecake works for me. I don't care how mad I get. If I get some cheesecake, we gonna be okay. And eventually we're gonna be okay. So, we are here at Albany State University, faculty, staff, students. We are also ambassadors for the concept of reaching across differences. You may not think about it, but if you consider where you come from, let's say you come from Macon, you have the opportunity to be an ambassador for Macon. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you get a chance to come to South Africa, 2025, did that plug in? If you get a chance to come with us, you might find that over there, they have a perception of Georgia. They have a perception of Macon. They have a perception of people who look like you, right? And here's your opportunity to represent your people in the best way possible. You can say, yes, I confirm. We do dance like that, and I'll teach you how. Or we can say, no, what you see is on a movie. That's a music video. We don't really act like that all the time, you know. But for a lot of people, they may not know anything other than what they see on mass media, right? right? And the same could be true of us. Many of us who have not traveled, our concept of the other, whether it's religion, whether it's geographical borders, the other is often understood in the context of what we see on TV or commercials. And here's another thing, we also are informed by what we don't see. I'll use this as an example. When has the last time any of us went to, I don't know, Red Lobster and just witnessed a Native American family of 4 or 5 just sitting having dinner? When have we ever seen, I've never in my life seen it. I've never seen a commercial showing that. I've never seen a poster showing that. So sometimes we can get a sense of a community, a sense of a nation, or a group of people by not seeing them, which might suggest, if they're not there, do they exist? What are their importance if they don't have a voice, if they're not being seen or being heard? So as students, faculty, staff, we're also ambassadors of our own cultural diversity. And we have a great opportunity to show the world how awesome we are. There is superstars within 50 feet of Albany State University, including the campus. There are great, wonderful, bright, talented, beautiful people all around us, but that message may not always be shown across the globe. Right? And so I strongly support and believe in the concept of international education because it gives us a chance to let the world know that we're pretty awesome. We're pretty awesome, and we're pretty awesome because of our interactions with those who are not like us. We are a nation of immigrants. Some of us were, how can I say, some of us were kidnapped from our home country in Africa, our home countries, and brought over here as immigrants. Many were not. If you're not a First Nation, as they say in Canada, if you're not Native American, we're talking about immigrants. And our diversity, our various cultures has helped make America truly an exceptional place for the world to desire to want to see, visit, and sometimes emulate. As you know, I'm a music professional, and I first started with this idea of international education. I didn't even call it that. I was a young man from Orlando, Florida, who would look at TV, look at movies, and say, one day, I would love to see those people, or those mountains, or those lakes, or the dishes that I saw. I was a young man curious about seeing things outside my neighborhood. I had no idea how to achieve that. Not at all, because the people around me pretty much didn't travel like that, except for one group of people. And that group of people were is that my signal? Oh, okay. And that group of people were the veterans, the military. My stepfather would tell me about his time in Vietnam. This place over there, people who don't look like him, and the experiences of not just meeting people in Vietnam, but meeting people from the U.S. in his army platoon from different places in the country. And so this idea of, there's something other than Orlando, there's something other than Florida, there's something other than the U.S. was largely, especially in the Black community I grew up in, we got a sense of that from our military veterans in our family, in our neighborhood. And then from there, I started trying to learn how to play guitar. Yeah, I'm self-taught. My parents couldn't afford guitar lessons. So they bought me a little toy guitar and took me in the room and said, okay, start playing this. I think I played it for like 3 months. And it was like, okay, shut you up. Here's your guitar. And oh man, I was awful. I was horrible. I didn't even know how to tune the thing, right? And so eventually, over time, I figured out what to do a little bit. And I remember I was struggling through Amazing Grace. That was the first time I played any kind of song that my mother was able to recognize. And that's when the door opened. She was like, okay, play that again. Other than that, anything I played, she didn't want to hear. And so, but my point is, I started with curiosity. I started with trying to learn some type of skill. And over time, that curiosity and that skill opened doors to meet and interact with people outside of my neighborhood, outside of the high school I went to. It allowed me to go to college out of state, to meet a whole another group of people. My college experience also exposed me to international students. So my curiosity grew, and when my curiosity mixed in with opportunity, I took it. What I do notice since I've been here at Albany State, a lot of times we don't take advantage of our opportunities to meet the other or travel out of fear. You know, I don't know what that food tastes like. Come try it. You know, I don't know if they're going to like me. You're a great person. They're going to like you. All right? What about safety? Just be wise, ask a lot of questions, and go with people who know something about the area. Just like you would do, like if we all left here right now and went to Chicago. Right? There are things we have to be aware of. There are going to be great restaurants, there's going to be great music, there's going to be all kinds of good stuff, but it's still a city, right? So look both ways, head on the swivel, don't be clueless of your surroundings. But just like we can go from here to Chicago and maintain a high level of safety, we can do that going from here to Paris. We can go from here to Dubai. We can go from here to Stuttgart, Germany. With the skill set, the soft skills that we would have, even from here and spending a day in Atlanta. Right? So, I don't want to drag on too long, but I want to thank the university, thank for all the administration and the departments to support international education. Is extremely, extremely important so that our students can have a chance of competing in a global market. The idea of you graduating and working with people exactly like you, that's not going to happen. So if you start getting used to interacting with, building relationships with people who are different, it will impact your lifelong careers in whatever vocation that you choose. I've been all over the world several times, not because I was the best, I'm pretty good, but I know people who are a lot more accomplished than me. But the issue was, I was curious, I made sure that I developed at least a professional level of skill, and I was interested in seeing the best in people. And when you mix that together, a lot of opportunities came for me. And I would suggest the same for you. Be curious, learn the skill to a professional level, and look for the best in people. And you too, not can, but I expect for you to be all over the world as an ambassador of Albany State University, an ambassador of your hometown, and yes, an ambassador of the United States of America. And that concludes my keynote address.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank you all for attending this beautiful occasion. We have a lot of activities planned for you this week, and I really would ask you to get the word out. We have events happening each day this week. A lot has gone into planning this. I want to thank Dr. Gibson and her team of Mr. Onyero and Dr. Donaldson Richard for all the work that they've done to get this. Traveling abroad and studying abroad and just having experiences is a great thing for our students to do. We need to look at other initiatives so that more students and faculty could be involved. So please get the word out and encourage students and faculty alike to participate in this. Again, thank you all and have a great week.
Thank you. Next time is the trivia, and this is going to be performed by Office of International Education, Mr. Chukwuemeka.
Thank you. So this is a special question or special questions for us to celebrate the International Education Week. We have some questions that we will ask, and we'll also have special prizes. Yandra, please, you can come closer. So any persons that get this question will definitely get some good prizes from the Office of International Education. But before I go ahead, the exhibition is outside for 12 Spanish countries. So you can, when you're going out, you can take a look at it and get yourself acquainted with some of the things we have there. So the first question I'm going to ask is, which country has the highest or the largest population in the world? Okay. Japan, no. Okay. China. Wrong. India, okay. So as at July 2024, it was China. Well, currently it is India. Thank you, thank you. The next question is, which of the following countries do not have English as an official language? Now I'm going to give you the options. The first option is India, Nigeria, Brazil, South Africa. Brazil. Okay, Dr. Ochi, a round of applause for Dr. Ochi. The United Nations has 6 official languages. Which of the following is not one of them? A, Arabic. B, Spanish. C, Russian. D, Portuguese. Portuguese. Who said Portuguese? So, which continent is home to the most countries? Africa. Please, a round of applause. Which city is known as the birthplace of democracy? Greece. Greece. Athens in Greece. Athens in Greece. Yeah. What is the longest river in the world? River Nile. River Nile. Four of these. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was so much fun. Next, we have the Assistant Director of International Education, and this is Dr. Annalease Gibson, Director of International Education.
All right, thank you all so much. So before I give the closing remarks, I want to introduce to you all, this is the first introduction to the campus of our new Assistant Director for International Education, and it will be Dr. Donaldson Richard. She has exemplified above and beyond not only her experience or expertise in international education, but she has also provided tremendous service to the office. And so she today is declared our Assistant Director for International Education. So if you don't mind, please help me in giving her a round of applause. And while I'm here, I would like to make sure I introduce Mr. Onyeri as our study abroad program coordinator. He started with us probably, less than a month ago. But he has done such amazing job in this office, and the office isn't complete without him as well. So thank you both for all that you do in the Office of International Education. So as we get ready to close, I just want to touch on a few things. We heard today that we all need to understand the world around us. I love the experience or the example that was given to us by President Drake when he talked about a loaf of bread. And interestingly enough, I've probably visited about 13 or 14 countries now, and I didn't even know that question. I didn't even know that a loaf of bread bought at certain times in different countries may be different prices. So just with that, I'll go ahead and just let you know that this year's theme is explore. And I encourage all of you, all of us, to explore. Explore who you are, explore other cultures around the world, explore special cuisines that are different than what you're used to, explore ritualistic practices of others, explore another language that is completely different from your own. Explore what makes you similar to someone else, but also explore what makes you different. Being a global citizen starts with the willingness to explore. So this week and beyond, I challenge everyone to encourage others to explore. As stated by Professor Johnson, he said that he started with curiosity. Exploring begins with curiosity. We are proud to announce that we have the possibility to provide airport tours tomorrow if students sign up today. Also wanted to announce for 2025, the faculty will assist in providing opportunities for students to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, St. Croix and the Virgin Islands, South Africa in the areas of Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg. We are also working on mutual agreements for Turkey, Tanzania, and Barbados. So again, we thank you all for your continued support in internationalizing your curriculum and promoting international education at Albany State University. Please continue to join us this week with many ways to explore the world right here at ASU. I close by reiterating what was said by President Drake this morning. Don't forget to take 5 hours a week to learn something we do not know about anything else. To learn something we do not know anything about. For the remainder of the week, tomorrow we have our traditional travel maze that starts at 11 o'clock. If we have students to sign up today, then we'll have the opportunity to give airport tours at the Albany Airport. On Wednesday, we have our International Tea Party where we get to taste teas from around the world. On Thursday, we have our culminating event, which is our Cultural Explosion. You'll get to hear from more global ambassadors who studied abroad during the summer of 2024, which included Jamaica, India, Cambodia, and South Africa. And also we have a wonderful fashion show. We have plenty of drawings throughout the week, gift prizes throughout the week. We also have our exhibit that he mentioned to you. Please take a look at that. We're so excited that we actually have an instructor teaching Spanish in person. And so we're very, very thankful and grateful for that. So please, if you will, take a chance to check out Dr. Sliwa's exhibits that we have right out here, and they'll be here the entire week. And again, thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your week. As stated to you over and over again, you exemplify what we try to show and demonstrate and provide opportunities to the Albany State University campus community when we talk about international education. And so today, we want to thank you for giving our keynote address, on the theme of explore. And so today, Professor Joel Johnson, in recognition of keynote speaker for International Education Week, we present this award to you.
This concludes our opening ceremony.